Dear student, welcome back again in our today's session. So as you can see that today I am going to discuss about on the concept of quota sampling. In my previous lecture I have already spoke about on the concept of sampling and different type of sampling. And now in my present lecture I am going to discuss in detail about the quota sampling. Under this lecture, I will discuss about the concept of quota sampling and the merits and demerits of quota sampling. So without further ado, let's start our today's topic. So as you can see that first we are going to discuss about the concept of quota sampling. So basically this combines both judgment sampling and probability sampling. On the basis of judgment or assumptions or the previous knowledge, the proportions of population falling into each category is decided. Thereafter, a quota of cases to be drawn are fixed and the observer is allowed to sample as he likes. Quota sampling is very essential, very important and likely to figure in a municipal surveys. And if we talk about the quota sampling, so in simple terms, we can say that about the quota sampling is a non-probability sampling, and it is uses a combination of judgment and probability sampling. Researchers divide the population into a distinct categories or a groups, such as age, gender, income, or occupation. Based on the prior knowledge or statistical data, the researcher sets quotas for each group to ensure that the sample reflects the population's diversity. And however, within these quotas, participants are chosen based on the convenience, which introduce a level of subjectivity, and it is frequently used in a market research and municipal surveys and other studies where the precise and random may not be feasible. So in this way we can understand about the quota sampling. Basically this method is a combines both judgment sampling and probability sampling. And on the basis of judgment or assumptions or the previous knowledge, the portions of population falling into each category is decided, and after that, a quota of cases to be drawn, a fixed and observer is allowed to sample as he likes. And quota sampling is very essential, very important, and likely to figure in municipal surveys. So after discussing about the quota sampling, let's understand the merits of quota sampling. So as you can see that the first one is it is improvement over the judgment sampling. So basically if we talk about the merits of quota sampling. So basically quota sampling is an advancement over the judgment sampling because it uses the predefined categories to judge the participant selections. In judgment sampling, the researchers select the participant solely based on the subjective reasoning, which often leads to biased and unreliable results. However, the quota sampling introduces the structure by ensuring that the certain demographic groups are represented. For example, if the population consists of a 40% male and 60% females, so the sample will be follow the distribution, improving the accuracy of the result. And this method adds a layer of a scientific reasoning, making the data more reliable, valid, and accurate than simple judgment sampling. And now the second one is easy to implement. So this method is very easy. Any researcher can easily implement this method in their research. Quota sampling is a simple to use because it requires no complex mathematical formulas or rigorous selection procedures. Once quotas are established, the researcher can select the participants within each categories as per their convenience, which reduces the time and efforts. This makes it particularly useful in a scenarios where researchers need to quickly gather the data. For example, in a market surveys and companies may want to know the how the different demographic groups respond to a product. And quota sampling allow them to quickly obtain the diverse options without the need for the fully randomized process. So in this way, we can say that this method is very easy to implement for the researcher in their studies. Now, the next one is useful in quick surveys. Quota sampling is often used in a market surveys, municipal polls, and opinion surveys, where time and resources are limited. For instance, when a council wants to gauge public opinion on a new policy, and they might use the quota sampling to ensure the representation from the various neighborhoods, age groups, or income levels, without spending too much time on selecting the participants randomly. So this ensures that different policies and voices are heard while keeping the surveys process manageable and quick. So in this way, we can say that if we talk about the merits of quota sampling, so quota sampling is very important and very essential, and it is an improvement over the judgment sample. Second one is it is easy to say it is very easy method to implement. Now the last one it is frequently used in a social science surveys. Now after discussing about the merits of quota sampling, let's understand few demerits of quota sampling. As you can see that the first one is it is not representative sampling. If we talk about the demerits, so we can say that although the quota sampling attempts to reflect the composition of a population, it falls short of providing a truly representative sample. This reason is that while quotas ensures that the certain groups are included, that the actual participants within those quotas are chosen based on the convenience rather than random selection. And for instance, a researcher may easily reach participants from urban areas but may not include the people from the rural settings and leading to an imbalanced sample. And this lack of randomness reduces the representativeness of the findings and increase the likelihood of bias. And now the second one is prone to error. And quota sampling is a also have some error to various forms of error, primarily because of the researcher's subjectivity and subjective choice when selecting the participants. For example, if the researcher is conducting a study on a consumer preferences and only surveys people in a shopping mall, the sample may be skewed towards those who frequent malls, ignoring those who shop online or at the local stores. And such errors occurs because the researchers may unknowingly favor certain groups while excluding the others. This can lead to the inaccurate or biased conclusions that do not reflect the wider population. Now, the third and the last point is influence of regional, geographical, and social factors. Basically, quota sampling is often influenced by the regional, geographical, and social factors surrounding the researcher. For example, if the researcher is going to conduct a specific urban setting, the participants may share the similar economic conditions, lifestyles, and the cultural norms, leading to a sample that reflects the characteristics of the specific area rather than the population at the large. So, additionally, the factors like regional educational levels and the access to information may skew the results further. And this makes the findings less generalizable and to the population with the different characteristics, limiting the applicability of the results beyond the immediate environment. So, in this way, we can say that while quota sampling is a practical and flexible method, especially when time or resources are constrained, its limitations need to be carefully considered, and it provides a structured approach by dividing the population into a truly random and is prone to bias, and it cannot guarantee representativeness, and the findings may be subject to the errors and the regional influences. So, therefore, the quota sampling is the most appropriate for exploratory or preliminary research, but the researcher should be very flexible when generalizing the results to the broader population. So, in this way, we can say that quota sampling is very important, very essential techniques. Researchers generally use this method, these techniques for their research work. But quota sampling is also have a few demerits. So this is all about the quota sampling. Thank you.